In this video, I just want to do a simple comparison of a tax-free savings account and an RRSP. And this is mainly for those people that don't maximize their RRSP each year. I also want to show you why it's very important that you gross up your RRSP contribution each year. And the final thing I want to show is just why that a simple illustration that I'm going to demonstrate here may lead you to the wrong conclusion. So let's take a look at this. We've got somebody who's going to devote the final $10,000 of their earnings to either an RRSP or tax-free savings account. So as you know, you get paid, you pay tax. In this case, I'm saying there's a 50% marginal tax rate. I know nobody's taxed at that rate, but it makes this illustration very simple to demonstrate. So we come down, we get paid, there's $5,000 left. It either goes to a tax-free savings account or an RRSP. Okay? If it goes to the RRSP, you get a tax refund. And some people will take that refund and contribute it back into the RRSP. Others just have fun. Some people will go to dinner, maybe take a vacation. Others will pay down debt or a mortgage. Okay? What do you do? Other people do something what we call grossing up their RRSP contribution. In other words, this full $10,000 of earnings gets into the RRSP. And how do you do that? Well, if you're a member of a group RRSP, it's simple. You can use a government form which allows you to reduce taxes at source. You may be self-employed. If you're self-employed, you're probably doing this without even knowing it. Or the other thing you can do is you can do a small RRSP loan. We know if we put $10,000 in, we're going to get a tax refund of $5,000. So let's borrow the $5,000, and then we'll pay it off when we get the refund. Okay. So let's take a look and see what happens and measure the withdrawals. So with the tax-free savings account, we're just pretending that we put the money in and that before the end of the first year we say, I need this money, let's pull it out. So with the tax-free savings account, we put in $5,000, and on withdrawal, there's no tax, so we get the full $5,000 back. With the RRSP, we're left with $2,500. With the RRSP plus the refunded contribution, we get, this is the amount, $3,750, and of course, if we grossed up the RRSP, we're left with this amount. So you can see these two match up fairly close. If we say let's leave the money in for 30 years, what are the results after 30 years? And we're going to get similar results. Now I've accumulated things up at 6% interest. You can use whatever rate you want, but you're going to get the same results. Tax-free savings account, it grew to about $27,000. We withdraw it all at once, and this is what we're left with. The RRSP, you can see we're left with this. The RRSP plus the refund, we're here, and if we gross up the RRSP, this is the amount we're left with. Both the same, okay? So somebody would look at this and say, well, gee, why don't I just do a tax-free savings account? It's better. Well, for a few it may be, but in most cases we're still going to suggest that the RRSP is probably better. But there's a few points to look at. One, with the RRSP, remember, when you're withdrawing money in retirement, you're probably in a lower tax rate, so that's the advantage to the RRSP. An advantage to the tax-free savings account, though, is the government runs certain programs in retirement. There's the Guaranteed Income Supplement, there's an age credit, and there's an OAS clawback. Okay, and all these things are tested, income tested, and so that's a big advantage to the tax-free savings account. Okay, the money you pull out of here is not going to affect these things. One other consideration: you can only contribute $5,000 to a tax-free savings account. Now that is indexed to inflation, so the contributions amount will grow over time. And one other thing you might want to ask just personally, if you have money sitting here or here, which one are you more likely to withdraw from? Okay, you may more easily take money from here than you would have here. One of the final considerations I want to ask is, what would you rather have? $27,000 or $54,000? Forget about whether it's in a tax-free savings account or RRSP. What would you rather have? You know what my suggestion is? Always go for the accumulation. Get the money. We don't know what the tax rules are going to be when you decide to access this money from the RRSP. You know, I know people always conclude that, no, it's going to get worse. But you know, a couple of years ago, the government introduced legislation that allowed incomes to split income, or allowed couples to split their income. That was a big plus for RRSPs. Okay, we don't know what's going to happen, so accumulate the money. The other thing, the final thing I want to say is it's very important. Do what you need to do to gross up your RRSP contributions. It doesn't cost you anything to do it. You get more money in it, more money working for you. Gets the accumulation up there.